What's up, world? Welcome to another installment of He Lived. I know you got your word on the street with you today, so let's get straight into God's word. Today we're coming from Luke chapter 15, verses 11 and 12, and it reads, "Then he said, a certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falls to me. So he divided to them his livelihood." Alright, so this story reminds me of a time where I was over at my sister's house. And my sister has a daughter that's about 3 years old right now. And on this particular day, she asked her mother for something, and her mother told her no. So she went over into the living room, she folded her hands, and she hid under the table, and she said, "I'm mad at you." So I went over to her and I asked her why she was mad, and she began to explain to me that her mother didn't do exactly what she expected her to do. Her mother wasn't letting her have her wishes, so as a result, she was no longer her mother's friend, and she was mad at her for a time. That story parallels with the story of the prodigal son, and maybe even your story today. A lot of us come to God and we say, "God, we thank you for the blessing that you've given to us of life. But can you just let us live? Can you just let us do what we want to do? Can you just let us make our own decisions instead of living a life full of expectations and having to meet so many standards?" I submit to you today that God has actually let each and every one of us live. He communicates to us exactly what he wants us to do, but in no way, shape, form, or fashion does he force us to do what we don't want to do. The amazing thing is that we go through life bitter at God, not because he's made us do something, but because he has expectations. Now imagine your supervisor getting mad at you because there are just certain things that you won't do at work. Or imagine your boyfriend or girlfriend or even your friends getting mad at you because there are certain things that you don't partake in. Imagine society getting upset at you because there are just certain things that you don't want to do. You have standards. You communicate these to individuals, and as a result, they can either respect it or reject it, but at the end of the day, you have the last say on whether you're going to follow through with what they expect you to do or not. The same thing happens with God. The same thing happened with the story of the prodigal son. A lot of people don't know this, but the word prodigal means wasteful. So this young man took what he had, he went out, and he wasted it. The pain that God has for each and every one of us is not the fact that we don't make the right decisions as much as he's given us the opportunity. He's given us the information, and we continue to waste the opportunities that we have. So I submit to you today that, like my young niece that I talked to, and I explained to her, hey, you can't be mad at your mom. She's telling you the right thing. If you look at God's word, even if you don't believe in God, if you look at his word, you'll see that the principles, the foundation, are based upon things that are for your betterment, for the betterment of the reader. And what God looks at, what he looks at when he sees us living our lives, when we go to him and we say, "God, just let me live," what he sees is that we're wasting the opportunity that we have to be in heaven with him for eternity. So I'm encouraging you, think about whether you're being prodigal with your life. The amazing thing about this story in Luke chapter 15 and about your life is the fact that the prodigal son went out and he was wasteful. He did all of these things that really upset his father. But when it was time for him to turn back, his father was waiting on him. And I submit to you today that the same thing is happening with God. You come to him and you say, "I'm mad at you. Just let me live." And God says, "Okay, go ahead and live." But the time that you turn around, the time that you're ready to come back home, God is waiting there with open arms to receive you back into the fold. And he's saying, "I've been waiting on you. I love you so much, and I'm so glad that you're back." I pray that this message will be a blessing to you. I pray that you share it with someone else, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Have a blessed day.